Hello, my beautiful besties. I hope you guys are doing fabulous today. If this is your first time here, my name is Shells. I cover fragrance, beauty, lifestyle, all the things. So if that sounds like your type of video, I welcome you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop me some comments down below so we can get to know each other. Have you ever noticed you wear one fragrance and nobody reacts? And then you wear another, and all of a sudden, everyone wants to know what you are wearing. I started paying attention to that, and then I realized there is actually a reason behind it. There have been days I wore something that I thought smelled amazing and I got nothing. And then other days I wore something softer, almost subtle, and I didn't just get compliments. People stayed, they leaned in, they asked questions. It was the same me, same energy. The only difference was the scent. This is where it gets interesting. Scent doesn't really operate like anything else. It doesn't go to the logic first. It goes straight to the emotions. And that is because of what is called the limbic system in the brain. Say, for example, someone smells you, your aroma hits them in the nose. They are not just thinking about the smell, they are feeling something. And here is what a lot of people don't realize. Someone's reaction to your fragrance may not even be about you. If you notice, fragrances or scents in general are often tied to someone, a memory. Half the time, too, you'll smell a fragrance and you can't even put into words the emotions you are feeling at that time. And that is why fragrances hit differently all the time. I've been wearing fragrances for a very long time. And because of that, I started noticing patterns. And then it started to make sense. For example, if I were to wear a warm, sweet scent, the reaction I would get from people is, wow, you smell very comforting. You smell familiar. It's like a warm hug. So they don't just compliment, they linger. They start asking questions. There's just something about a good, warm, sweet scent that just happens to spark a lot of conversations. And I quite like it because who doesn't like to talk about fragrances? You know what I mean? And then when I would wear cleaner or fresher scents that are not loud, they still pull people in, because there's just something refreshing or invigorating about them that people quite like too. They are very, very impactful. But at the same time, how could I put this? They give off great first impressions which sometimes usually fade. They don't last long in people's minds. And then now you have the more bold, beastly, in your face type of fragrances, which will garner attention, but we have to be very mindful because this can go left really fast. We have to think about, how we wear these bolder scents, where we wear these bolder scents too. So while you will get the attention, you don't want to lose the attention because you did way too much with the scent. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a deep thinker and I'm always looking for the hidden meaning behind a fragrance. Like, what was the intended purpose of this specific scent? And I'm saying that to say this. Some fragrances are, meant to grab your attention from across the room. And then you have some fragrances that are meant to be discovered up close. And if I'm being honest with you, I get a lot more attention when I wear softer, more intimate fragrances. There's just something that is very intriguing to people, when they can come close to you, be in your space and smell you and just want to discover what it is you have on. There's just something about that that just feels so nice, because yeah, we like the loud Ray and Tay, but then the softer scents that we probably don't think will grab attention are the ones that people are drawn to a lot more. So we have to essentially ask ourselves this: are we wearing fragrances just for attention, or are we wearing fragrances to be remembered? This is why scent is so powerful. People don't just smell you, they associate you with a feeling. That is why someone can meet you once and they will forever remember how you smell. And let's be real. When you know you smell good, you move differently. You're more relaxed, you're more confident, and your whole energy shifts, and everybody around you in a room, wherever you are, can pick up on that. So it's never just about the fragrance, it's how you show up wearing it. There is also a flip side to this. There are a few things that can ruin everything, that can ruin the whole experience, the whole interaction. And if I'm being honest with you, I am guilty of a few of them. Overspraying is one of them that we have to be very mindful of. I am guilty of that because I'm an avid oversprayer, okay? And it's taken a lot out of an oversprayer to be saying this, but we have to be mindful of how we spray, okay? This this next one here is another one that I am so guilty of: wearing the wrong fragrance for the wrong occasion. No, I did that on a trip to Jamaica and almost choked myself out. It didn't even get to another person's nose. I basically ruined the whole experience for myself. Okay, so that is something we have to be mindful of too. We also have to, basically know how to categorize our fragrances. What fragrances can be labeled as everyday wear as opposed to a fragrance that is evening time. Like wearing a beast mode fragrance for your signature scent. It just doesn't make any sense. You just have to think about time and place and what is appropriate in those spaces. So once you keep these things in mind, they will help you along the way, essentially. In closing, I want you to keep this in mind. This is what I want you to take away from this video. People, half of the time, will forget what you say to them, how you look, your attire, your clothing. But best believe they will forever remember how you smelled. So keep that in the back of your mind the next time you decide to pull for a fragrance. And these are things I am learning myself, okay? Behind all of the fragrance loving and the fragrance purchases, there is a part of me that likes to learn. I'm probably a low-key fragrance nerd. So if you found any value in this video, sound off down in the comments like you normally do. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful one. And I will catch you in another video. Bye.
Stop chasing validation from a world that crucified a perfect man.